Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I'm going to cover the 15 varieties of Encore Azaleas that are good into zone 6A. These are the most cold hardy Encore Azaleas. I have 10 of them here. I'm at Flowerwood Nursery in South Alabama shooting some videos this week, and these are ones that actually had some color still on them. It's almost December now, so it's kind of amazing, even in South Alabama. They've had some cold nights here, but they still have some flowers. They still have some flowers on them. Most of them do anyway. I have 10 of the varieties pulled here. There's 5 more. I'll get those flashed up on the screen over the course of the video. But if you're in zone 6A or 6B, these are great choices for you. For most of these varieties are going to bloom in the spring, summer, and fall. They're evergreen. I've covered lots of Encore Azalea, lots of Encore Azalea videos on my channel. But I wanted to specifically go over the ones that are the most cold hardy, because I don't think perhaps folks in zone, in 6A, which is pretty far north, understand that you can actually have these Encore Azaleas as well. So I'm just going to go through them real quick, the 10 that I have here. So this is Autumn Lilac, and this is one of the 6A varieties. This is probably the best purple. I have not covered this one on my channel, but if you look at it, I think this is absolutely the best of the purple varieties. This is Autumn Royalty, which I always say reminds me of Formosa. Has the big leaves, larger growing variety. Industrial plant. This one is really a very rugged plant. If you think if you think you're not a great gardener and you want an azalea that'll bloom 3 times a year, it's an evergreen shrub, and you live up to zone 6A and down to 10. Autumn Royalty Encore Azalea is a good choice. Right here is Autumn Bonfire. I've covered this one pretty thoroughly. This is the newest one in the collection, and also budded up like crazy, and it is a great dark red. And here it is, another one right here. I really do like this variety. It gets about 3 feet high, a little wider than tall. Tends to stay a little greener in the winter than Autumn Fire. We'll get to Autumn Fire in a minute. This is Autumn Sunburst. This is one of everybody's favorite. That variegated flower on that one is always super nice. This one's going to get 3 feet high and wider than tall. Maybe as wide as 4 or 5 feet on Autumn Sunburst. This is an example of the winter foliage. This is Autumn Sundance, and Autumn Sundance has really nice flowers here. This is one that came out of a greenhouse. I took it out of a greenhouse. They were forcing it to use at a winter trade show, and I got this one from outside, and you can see where it's been outside, exposed to a little more cold. It has that purple foliage on it, and the one that was inside, it was just brought inside, is greening back up right there. It's an interesting thing that can happen, but that winter foliage on Autumn Sundance is a great one, and you'll see Autumn Fire in a minute also has this purple foliage. This is Autumn Twist. This one didn't have any flowers on it, but I wanted to bring one in here just because I saw it, and I know it's one of the 6A varieties, and I've talked about it several times on my channel. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's got the large foliage. Reminds me of an old one called George Tabor. Gets a pretty good size over time. This one right here is called Autumn Sunset. Also a really nice kind of an orangey red color on Autumn Sunset. Great foliage plant. Every time I've ever gotten these in to resell, the foliage has been just perfect. It's just a great variety all season long. Keeps a nice low, dense mounding habit. This one right here is Autumn Lily. There weren't many flowers left on these, but this is a white one right here that is hardy into zone 6. I've planted a couple of these at my house in videos. And then last but not least, this is Autumn Fire. And you can see the purple foliage where these were outside, and how nice this is. Just in the process of turning from green to purple right now. Mine in my yard are super dark purple at this point. I think this one, to me, this one puts on, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's true for other people, this one tends to bloom really heavy in the spring, and sometimes I get 2 rounds of flowers in the spring, and then I get a good fall bloom. I don't get as much in the summer on Autumn Fire, but then in the winter time, it's such a beautiful plant, that purple ball in the winter, whereas going back over here to Bonfire, it tends to stay a little bit greener and has a better summer flowering thus far. That's my comparison in my yard in a very short amount of testing them. So there's 10 of the 15 Encore Azaleas that are good all the way up into zone 6A, and then they're all fine down into zone 10. I'll put the other 5 up while I continue to talk here. The nice thing about this collection of, this is only, this will be 15 that can go into zone 6, but there's 31 in the whole collection. Some of them, there's also a group that's good into zone 6B, and that's a good portion of them. These happen to be the ones that are good all the way up into zone 6A. I mean, really very cold tolerant. You see some of them offer you foliage color in the winter time. They're all going to offer you, repeat flowers. They're disease resistant. You need to mound them up in clay. They don't like their feet wet. They like well-drained soil, so keep that in mind. I usually like to mulch azaleas with pine straw if I can. You can use hardwood mulch, and I'll use hardwood mulch at my house, but I usually use it pretty thin around azaleas. I don't want to set up a situation where I'm keeping too much moisture on them. Don't put anything up on the trunk, of the plants. Don't just keep piling mulch up on them all the time. When you mulch, just put a thin veneer. These can be fertilized in the late winter. They can be pruned after the first spring flowering. That is the best time to prune them. So you be patient with your Encore Azaleas. Let them come out, flower. Some will flower pretty early. My Autumn Fire, typically, as soon as it gets any warmth on it at all, it goes from purple to green to flowering, just really quickly. And as soon as it's done that initial first flowering, you can get them shaped up if you need to. If you need to do any pruning on them, like I say, fertilize them at the same time. They like pretty well-drained soils, like I said, so elevate them a little bit in clay soils. Other than that, they're not too bad. They're pretty disease resistant, insect resistant. Deer do like azaleas. So, if you have big major deer issue, azaleas may not be for you out in open space. You may give them a try up around your foundation if the deer don't go up to your foundation. Some do. But there you go, guys. There are 15 repeat blooming Encore Azaleas that will go into zone 6A. Thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for future videos.